Alright, so here I am at Walmart testing out my micro camper cooking capabilities for the first time. And prices have certainly changed since I was living in a van. I bought like 6 pieces of hot wings. They're hot wings here at Walmart, which I'm not even sure if they're good anymore. I haven't had them in so long and they had changed the flavor. But it was like $7.35 for the 6 piece with taxes. I mean, it was $6.87 for 6 pieces, and with 7% sales tax, it came up to $7.35 just for this little tiny bag of hot wings of 6 pieces. So we're going to be eating that with the rice that we're cooking in our rice cooker right here. I have the car on to have the alternator charging up the batteries, the house battery and the vehicle battery. The inverter is right here. House battery's here. So the power is coming from the alternator to the battery and the inverter here. Inverter is turned on to generate 120 volts or 115 volts. And I have that extension plugged into here with the switch here so I can turn the rice cooker on and off. So with the power on, the rice cooker, which is in this, plugged into this white extension cord here, is on. And it is cooking right now, as far as I know. So, let me check. Yeah, it's on cook. Tried to bring the camera here. Sorry about that. You can see it's on cook right now. So the rice cooker is cooking. And we're going to cook while we drive. So maybe you guys can kind of ride with me and we'll do a talking episode and drive and cook. I have to head out to Orlando. So thought I would go ahead and cook dinner. This is going to be dinner. The chicken, basically the hot wings, chicken hot wings, Walmart hot wings with rice. In the meantime, here we go. So we're gonna head out, and when the rice cooker is done cooking, it should automatically pop up. And when it pops up, I'll just reach down my left side where the multi-plug outlet is and turn the power off. That's why it's arranged that way. The rice cooker stays on continuously. When it gets done cooking, it pops and it goes to warm mode instead of hot cooking mode. But the power's not shut off. I am going to go ahead and shut it off. Now, what I forgot to show you was the switch. I have the switch beside my seat, the light switch that I installed.
Turn left toward Columbia Boulevard, then turn right onto Columbia Boulevard.
The power switch there.
In 800 feet, use the left 2 lanes to turn left 50 west.
The power switch connects the.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left to 450 west.
Getting interrupted here by the GPS. The power switch connects the house battery to the car battery, which is charged up by the alternator, and that's how we get free electricity to cook with. So you basically have the 2 batteries, the vehicle battery and the house battery, wired together with a switch in between. The switch, when I turn it on, allows the vehicle battery, which I call the house battery, to charge up while the vehicle's running, and the alternator's charging the car battery and my house battery. Then I have an inverter, a 750 watt inverter that is hooked up to the house battery, and that's what allows me to run 120 volt appliances. My rice cooker is 120 volts. I think they do make 12 volt rice cookers, which would cut out needing an inverter. But I just went ahead and used. I just go ahead and use the regular 120 volt rice cooker because it can be used in a hotel. If I travel somewhere and am in a hotel, I can cook inside the hotel room using the rice cooker. Now, right now I am using the rice cooker to cook rice, but you don't have to just cook rice with it. You can cook, like I could cook steak, I can cook eggs, I can cook noodles, I can cook spaghetti, I can cook anything in that rice cooker. Right now, though, I am cooking rice because I'm going to be eating pre-cooked hot wings. Now, since it's going to take about 15-20 minutes for the rice to cook, the hot wings might be cooling down as we drive. So what I will probably do is once the rice cooker is done cooking, I will probably just open up the bag of hot wings and put it in, on top of the rice and let it stay there in, warm mode, so that the rice and the chicken will be hot for when I get done driving and pull over to eat. Had a green light on the one up ahead, but not on the one right here where we are. So, rice cooker is cooking. This is the first test of the cooking system. We're going to find out if the battery's charging fast enough, if the house battery's going to last. I didn't buy new batteries, so everything is used and old. The battery might not have a full charge. And I'm going to find out right now how well this does. Just realized I should have gotten some gas before I left, but I guess I'll have to get gas in Orlando. Food will be done before I get to Orlando. This is Highway 50, which runs from Titusville right through Orlando, downtown Orlando. I won't be chatting so much because I'm kind of thinking, what do I need to do? But yeah, this is the I guess you would call it the maiden test of Good Vibrations 2. First time I've actually taken it out on the road. It's not 100% done. It's about 90%. I need to install a couple more items and paint it to make it look nice. But otherwise, it's mostly functional. I have the rice cooker, and we're making sure it works right now. And then I haven't got the refrigerator working. Need to find the cable for that. But otherwise, the system is operational. I mean, if I had to run off somewhere and camp overnight, I could do it. So far, so good. The rice cooker isn't beeping. Well, the inverter's not beeping. The inverter will beep if the power levels in the batteries run too low. While we're driving, I might as well point out several things for those of you who are interested in such a system. If you decide to install an inverter to use in your vehicle for cooking and cooling things, running a refrigerator and other things like that, you probably want to make sure you have a house battery that's at least 100 amp hours hooked up to your car battery. That'll give you 200 amp hours with 100 usable. You'll only want to run cooking because generating heat with using an inverter and a battery system uses a lot of energy. So you'll only want to do cooking with the car running and the system turned on, so that the alternator is charging the battery as you're pulling power out for the inverter to convert to 120 volts. I don't know if that makes sense, but when you drive your car, the alternator makes electricity and it charges your vehicle battery. And since you have your house battery hooked up to it, and you have a switch there, when you switch the switch on to connect the two batteries, as the vehicle's battery is charging, so is your house battery. And then the inverter, which converts the 12 volts from your car battery or your house battery into 120 volts, is hooked up to your house battery, and so it turns the 12 volts from there into 120 volts, which you can use for your appliances. So while the system is running and connected, you actually have access to the house battery as well as the vehicle battery to pull power from. And as you're pulling power to run your 120 volt appliances, in this case my rice cooker, the system is charging up both batteries while you're pulling power out. Now in my previous system on Little Blue 2, I actually had solar panels as well, and the solar panel was mounted on the roof, and that would charge the system non-stop. Right now, this system doesn't have a solar panel, and honestly, you don't really need one. If you were going to have a solar panel, it kind of ruins the stealth feature of your car, so that people can tell there's definitely something different about your vehicle, and that somebody might be living inside. There's a solar panel on the roof. But the solar panel allows you to park somewhere, and the system will kind of charge while you're using it. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the solar panel typically will charge much, 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 much slower than an alternator. Using the car's alternator to charge your battery pack charges it a lot faster. So, if you think that having a large, like 200 or 400 watt solar panel is going to allow you to charge as fast as the alternator, you're wrong. The alternator charges much, much faster than 200 or 400 watts of solar panels on your roof. So, am I going to put solar panels on this vehicle? Maybe, just because I have one handy. If I decide that I might want to park it somewhere for extended periods for camping and not drive around, I might want to have a solar panel so that the battery can charge without me having to run the car and burn up expensive gasoline. So it's been roughly 11 and a half minutes. Rice cooker is still cooking. It is still on high. I can feel the heat coming from back here, and I haven't heard it pop yet, so it's still cooking. I don't know how the rice cooker works, but it automatically shuts off. It goes to warm mode once it's done cooking. So I could conceivably just keep driving it within cooking in warm mode. Although if you kept doing that long enough, it would dry out. But in warm mode, it uses the rice cooker. When you're cooking rice in full cook mode, it uses about 300 watts. But when it's in warm mode, it only uses, I think, about 80 watts or 35 watts, something like 35 to 80 watts. For those of you who aren't familiar with Florida, there is a town here called Christmas. I don't know if you can see that green sign coming up. That is a sign for Christmas. We are in a town called Christmas, and they do have a post office here. So if you wanted to be cool, you could come here and, around Christmas time and send out a postcard or a letter and drop it off at the Christmas post office, and the letter or the postcard will have a postmark from Christmas. Christmas is just a tiny little town here off Highway 50 between Orlando and Titusville. There's not much to see here other than coming up here to the right, coming up soon, you're going to see a brown sign, one of those attraction signs. It's coming up here soon, very soon. That brown sign points to Fort Christmas. So they have, there used to be a fort here in Florida called Fort Christmas. And it wasn't located in this exact same spot here. I'm going to just head over here, slow down, and go this lane so you can see the sign coming up. Actually, this sign is for, it says Tosohachi Wildlife Management Area. So maybe one day I'll go over there. All these brown signs in Florida, I think around the United States, they mean that it's an area, a recreational type area you can go to. But anyhow, here's the sign for Fort Christmas. It says Fort Christmas Museum Park. And also the Orlando wetlands are back there. Now, we've gone to both of those places in previous episodes when I was living in a van. So we're not going to go there now, but For those of you traveling on Highway 50, Fort Christmas is definitely worth a stop. Probably spend an hour or two there, maybe more. You can have a picnic there. It is free, no charge to go to Fort Christmas. And what they have there is reproduction of the fort, Fort Christmas itself. And they moved a bunch of homes, like cracker houses and other houses, buildings and stuff from that time, from the late 1890s to the early 1910, 1920s, whatever. So they moved all those houses there and have set up like a little tiny town almost. It's got like a schoolhouse, a bunch of houses, and a bunch of artifacts from that time period. And they have it open to the public, so if you're into history, it's a great place to stop and learn a little bit about Florida history and Fort Christmas in this area. So it's been 16 minutes. The rice is still not done, which is kind of interesting. Usually when I cook the rice cooker at home, off 120 volts, it usually finishes cooking. I guess it depends on how much rice you have and how much water, but usually finishes about 15 minutes. So it's been a little over 16 minutes and it's still not done cooking yet. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and just let this video run with me driving, because some of you enjoy driving videos. So this is what the road looks like here in Florida on Highway 50 heading into Orlando from Titusville. So we're heading west on US Highway 50. No, wait, I don't think this is US Highway 50. I think this is State Road 50. I don't know if 50 is a state road or a US highway. I think it's a state road. So I think this is a Florida state road, state highway. The rice cooker has just finished cooking at 17 minutes. So cooking one meal for one person here on the rice cooker takes approximately 16-17 minutes. Now what I am going to do, although I'm not going to show it, I do have my my chicken here, my hot wings, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it in the rice cooker so that it stays warm. That way the food will be nice and warm when I'm ready to eat it. I have removed the lid from the rice cooker here, as you can see. And we're just going to pour the hot wings from the bag into the rice cooker. I know I can't. Sorry you can't see any of this because I am driving. But basically, this is how I kind of survived living in a van. Was I would cook and cook food while I'm driving. I poured the chicken into the rice cooker, which is still on right now, but it's on warm mode. And I'm putting the lid on it. I'm watching the traffic right now. I'll deal with the lid here in a minute. Got busy. So we're putting the lid back on. I do have bungee cords that hold the lid in place. to keep things from flying around in the event of a crash. So right now the rice cooker's on warm mode, and the chicken wings are in there warming up. And since the rice is done cooking, okay, and the system stays warm for a while, I'm going to go ahead and turn the power off. So I'm just describing all this because I'm driving and you can't really see it. But on my left side where I sit in the driver's seat, if you'll recall, there is a multi-plug outlet. So I just hit the switch just now, and what that does is it disconnects the multi-plug outlet, you know, which is hooked up to the rice cooker. It disconnects the power to the rice cooker. So the rice cooker is shut off right now and just warming up the chicken hot wings inside. And the reason I'm doing that is to allow the system to charge up faster, and also there's no point in leaving the rice cooker on when you're not cooking. So food is done, and this is what my meal would be, you know, just rice with hot wings. Although looking at how expensive this was, it was like over $7 just for those hot wings. This is an expensive meal. Probably gonna have to can't afford to buy the hot wings pre-cooked already because it's too expensive. We'll have to cook my own meal. So you might see some more cooking episodes coming up here where I cook things. I'll try to cook stuff like ribs, maybe steak, maybe hamburger. We'll try to cook a variety of food just to show you the versatility of this cooking system and how you can do it while you're driving. We're trying to hit Orlando traffic here. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and pull over here. Maybe, maybe not. There's a car behind me. I'm going to go ahead and try to pull over here and show you the food so I can end this video so it doesn't go on and on and on forever. I just want to show you what's going on with the food and the system. Then I'm going to continue my journey. GPS is going to say, hey, yeah, kind of left the
right lane to turn right, then turn right.
Yeah, I kind of left the journey. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, but wanted to show you what's going on. So here's the let me try to show you here. This is the switch that I've turned off. See that? That switch turns the system on and that turns it off. So I did that to disconnect the rice cooker. And you can see right now, this is what the rice cooker looks like. And how I have these things here. But you can see the food is like nice and hot. So I have hot wings and rice. And that's going to be tonight's dinner. Even though I'm on a road trip. So I'll have rice and hot wings. And leftovers, because that's way more than I can eat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this test. It looks like the system is able to cook. And I look forward to making more cooking videos. I hope you guys
then turn right.
I hope you guys have a great day and good eating wherever you are. Until next time, everyone, take care, stay safe, and bon appetit.